It's the Hurling Team of the Week brought to you by Slattery Sullivan Insurances in Neenah. Call 067 56705 and it's 10% off all new business quotes with the promo code OurGame. So, four massive games that just happened at the weekend. Clare saw off Wexford, Tipperary beat Cork, and then in the provincial finals, Kilkenny beat Galway, and of course Limerick retained their title by seeing off Waterford. So on the basis of that, we're going to pick our team of the week. Starting off in goals, I think Nicky Quaid probably stood out more than anybody. Anthony Nash certainly had problems with the weather. I don't think Mark Fanning, earpiece or not, necessarily had the day that he would have wanted with Wexford, but then again, that might be more to do with was in front of him than anything else. Nicky Quaid gets the nod here because so many of his puckouts found their mark. He was very solid in goals. There was no goal chances going to be going in past him. He made one great save from a free. So I think Nicky Quaid is the man that had to get it there. Brian Hogan did quite well for Tipperary also, especially poking into a gale. As I said, Nash seemed to struggle with that somewhat. But I think maybe just on the basis of maybe he could have got to that Patrick Horgan goal, maybe not. It might be a small bit harsh, but it's fine margins and just about to give it, just about happy enough to give it to Nicky Quaid. But if you disagree, please let me know. Full back line, Cathal Barrett, Conor Ponti and Sean Finn. So three defenders from different counties. Cathal Barrett was brilliant for Tipperary, as he has been for a couple of years, well, for many years now at this stage, being honest. He was excellent, whether he was man marking or whether he was sweeping for Tipperary. He's such a fast player that he can get around the field, of course. So abrasive, not afraid to leave one in on you if he has to. Conor Prunty did a great job playing on Aaron Gillan, like some of the ball going in, and he managed to spoil really, really well. He is the modern fullback, the exact type of player you want. And there were other guys back there who could also rival these three lads, including Sean Finn, who was, as ever, really, really good. Desi Hutchinson is a tough guy to tie down, and the Ballygunner man got 1 point early on in the game, but other than that, Finn did a great job. Conor Delaney did very well on Conor Whelan. Of course, Conor Whelan was too far away from goals too often, so I think Galway might be looking at rejigging that. Ronan Maher also brilliant job on Patrick Horgan, followed him everywhere, dominated. Other than that goal, which was nothing to do with Ronan Maher, he was on top throughout. So another excellent performance from the Thurles man. So moving into the half back line, then it's a couple of Kilkenny lads and actually a Galway man. The reason Joseph Cooney is in here is he man marked TJ Reid everywhere he went and kept him quiet, other than that goal where Reid stepped past him lovely and did his little feint and knocked it into the top corner. To be honest, I don't believe any defender in the country would have been able to stop TJ Reid there. So to see Cooney catch a brilliant ball over him, to also see him score that brilliant point where he got onto a Joe Canning sideline and knocked it over the bar, I think Cooney deserves a lot of credit. Yes, he had a sweeper in front of him, so I'd be happy to hear your thoughts if someone else deserves a shout here. I think Pádraig Walsh was always going to be in here. Brilliant performance in that half back line for Kilkenny. Conor Brown came up with a couple of points. So he was playing midfield last year. He played cornerback earlier on in the season in the league, but a good performance at wing back. Obviously a very game player and got himself a couple of points. You could make a fair case for Kyle Hayes being in here, and even dealing with Burns too, but I think Kyle Hayes was probably the pick of him for Limerick, certainly in my estimation. Tadhg de Burka got on an awful lot of ball, and Niall O'Mara was brilliant for Tipperary, being rezoned into the half back line, having been a half forward for the last number of years. So let me know what you think, whether I'm right or wrong in your opinion. The midfield duo is Cian Lynch and Dan Breen. Cian Lynch has obviously had a tough week with his uncle passing away, but came in and gave a great performance as per usual, as we always expect from the 2018 hurler of the year. He's really good, just knits everything together and came out on top there. Dan Breen beside him scoring 5 points from play. You can't ask much more than that. What a physical presence he is, what a powerhouse he is when he's running with the ball, and we all know he can score, and he's a history of doing it against Cork. So if he can do it against Galway as well, Tipperary will be feeling pretty good about their chances. Jason McCarthy was somebody that I definitely thought about slotting into the team here, the Clare man. He came in place of David McInerney, and I thought he was excellent around the middle of the field for the banner, and very unlucky to lose out, and you could certainly make a fair case that he should be in there. So let me know if there's anybody else that I should have included that didn't feature here. The half forward line, Dan McCormick, Willie Connors and John Donnelly. Dan McCormick came in and just got his hands on the ball constantly for Tipperary. He wasn't started against Limerick. I don't think that Tipperary will start without him again in this year's championship, whether it's one more game against Galway or whether they go any further than that. Really, really good. Scored 2 points as well. And just the exact sort of dog of war you need if you're going to get too far in the championship. Willie Connors came on just before half time in place of John McGrath. Joe McGrath didn't have a great game, but remains to be seen how he recovers from that. Willie Connors came on wing forward, set up I think 1-3, just always getting on the ball, just a really nice striker, really good touch, brilliant touch. Like the ball generally comes up to his hand first time. Set up a score for Seamus Callan at another stage with a nice stick pass, albeit Callan had to stretch somewhat. But Willie Connors really good in that half forward line, and John Donnelly, as I think he generally contributes really strongly for Kilkenny, and I liked what I saw from him. There might be other guys that you look at and think, why is Gerard Hegarty not in here after scoring 2 points? And himself and Callum Lyons had a great battle in the Munster final. Martin Keown hit over 2 points for Kilkenny and might have had a goal as well after being put through by Richie Hogan. Seamus Hardy hit 5 points for Cork. So do you say, yeah, he came up with 5 points, or do you say there was other parts of the game where he was kind of quiet? I think if more people in that Cork team had to do what Hardy did, then they might have got much closer to Tipperary, and they were pretty close as it was anyway. But Hardy unlucky, and Shane O'Donnell didn't score, but he was crucial for Clare in that win over Wexford and set up the goal. Well, fed Tony Kelly, so Tony Kelly could go and do what Tony Kelly does. And of course, the Ballier man is in the full forward line, picked in the full forward line here, and allowed to roam where he wants, and he will be in this team if it was ever lining out, because he's just an absolute powerhouse. He scored 115 and was just all over Wexford, and I'd say Davy Fitz would be glad to see the back of him in terms of having him in the opposition line out. Richie Hogan came on and scored 1-2, set up that goal chance for Martin Keown that he didn't finish, also set up another point, and just brilliant cameo, and back to his hurler of the year form. And if he can keep that going, I think Kilkenny will fancy their chances of going all the way. Peter Casey scored 3 points for Limerick. Really good performance as always. He's just so elusive and gave Shane Fives a tough time for a while. And to be fair, Fives did all right, had to go off injured, and I just think Casey's an excellent player and was very much important here. You could have picked Graham Mulcahy ahead of him. He scored 4 points, and he always delivers when the need is there for Limerick. So flip of a coin there, really. Jack Prendergast, arguably Waterford's best forward, probably was Waterford's best forward. Considered putting him in here for sure, along with other players such as Seamus Callan, who scored 2 points but won a number of frees and worked like an absolute dog throughout the game. So that's my team of the week. Plenty of players missed out. No doubt I'll be accused of bias and whatever it is, as usual. But trust me, that is not the case. So let me know what your team of the week is, and if there's anyone who missed out or shouldn't even be in there.